What is going on YouTube? We are trying something different today. We are doing a facial edition. Um, the thing won't be this big. It will probably be a little bit smaller for the video. But I have some news and um, it's not great, but it's okay. So first of all, I recorded this video that I'm going to do now about 3 times already. And the first one was like an hour and a half. The second one was like 3 hours of recording. And everything just went wrong. I lost sound, I lost the camera, it just everything didn't work out. So I had to drop that because also I'm on my Mac's camera right now with my headset microphone because my PC decided that its motherboard doesn't want to live anymore. So it's in the repair shop at the moment, but I just really wanted to make this video, man. Like it was such a, important thing for me to do. So first of all, 250 subscribers. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's not 250 yet. I lied, but it's okay. We're 5 subscribers away. If you have one friend, if 5 of you have one friend, will you please recommend or ask them to subscribe? Or if one of you have 5 friends, like you're like the popular kid or something, then I would really appreciate it if you subscribe. Um, so I made this app. Wait, let me shrink my face. I think down to about there is fine, right? So I made this app. Let's see if I can find it. It's called Kaizen Codes .heroku app.com. So this app is like a little interface to look at all my subscribers and stuff. So at the moment there's 245 and 13171 total channel views, and I coded this whole thing. Let's see if it's available on GitHub. I don't know if I put it on there. Um, let's look at it. I think I did put it on here. Let's see if it's here. Yeah, that is it this one? Backend. I don't think it's this one. And its language is CSS. Oh yes, it's a full stack app. So it's a Node Express server that sends through some HTML, CSS, JavaScript stuff. So let's look at the HTML first. Very simple, just a document, and this is the title on top. This piece, this blue thing, and this is like a gradient. So if you click on this, it'll take you to my YouTube channel, Kaizen Media, and this is like the views. So the way I'm getting that in there, we can look at the script file. This is the index.js in the www folder. So what I'm doing is I'm just doing a fetch request to the same, you know, domain, but slash API slash v1. So that's where my, you know, little backend app lives. And the reason I'm putting it on the backend is because if you do if I like I'm using YouTube API and I have a quota. So let's say by some reason like I get a lot of requests on one day to that website, which I doubt, but you never know. Instead of each person requesting the file from the server, and then every time they reload, like I'm doing a request to YouTube every single time, and then filling my quota. What I'm doing now is I'm just making the request on the back end, and I can show that to you. If you look at YouTube service.js, this is the URL, this is the key that I have saved in an env file. And then what I do is every uh, hour, because obviously I'm not a big channel yet, so I don't think it's necessary to like keep it like real time. But every hour I do a request to YouTube, and I set this global variable current data to the views and the subscribers. And then when a request comes in, um, this is just like a separate module, but what this does is I'm doing a request to YouTube API, and then I'm getting the data, then I'm setting the subscribers and the views on this object, and I'm returning it. So in my routes, or in the app itself, like the little server thing, on the get route, I'm doing, if there's no current data, which I'm getting from that YouTube service file, if there's no current data in this, what I'm going to do is just fetch the data and then send back. So this means when the server shuts down, the app won't lose the global data. What it's going to do is if there's no data, it's gonna wait for you to do it, or when you do a request and there's no data, it's gonna just make a request to YouTube and fill the data. And so that just means like I don't need a database because it's just very, I think, over. It's not necessary to have a database, and my Mac might die, so I'm just gonna plug in. We can just send the current data because we have it available. So that's kind of cool. It's a little app I built. It took me a while. It's like very simple, but for some reason that day I was kind of hungover. It was a Saturday. We were drinking wine and, having fun, living life to the fullest. But yeah, coding with a slight hangover doesn't go well. And the next part of the video, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna solve some coding challenges as like a 250 subscribers special. So my coding, I feel like I said this stuff so many times before. It's like it's ingrained in my mind. But before I start with that, let me just give like a proper thanks to all the subscribers and commenters and shares and stuff. Like I do see it. I do check out my analytics every now and then. Um, it's very, it's only 250 and I make it sound like such a big deal, but to me it kind of, I don't see it like that. I don't see it like I need 1 million subscribers to be a big YouTuber. Like I'm not doing it for that, like I'm seeing every single one of my subscribers and followers, whatever, as a friend. And imagine you have 250 friends in one room. That's like a hell of a party, dude. And I would party with every single one of you. Unless you don't like partying, that's fine. We can code. But yeah, like I really appreciate it, man. Like from the bottom of my heart, man. Like the comments are very positive as well because I see, I had a fitness channel as well, and the comments on there were just very toxic and negative. Like everyone, like everyone's just like, yeah, you have this, you look like that, you this, very judgmental, very negative in general. And people were saying like I'm cocky and stuff like that, and which like I couldn't agree less because I might seem very energetic, or I don't know how to put it, not energetic, but like just excited about this stuff. But it doesn't mean like I'm cocky, like I do have my own, self-image issues. Everyone does kind of feel uncomfortable in their own skin, and I'm one of those people. So, yeah, before this psychology session gets way too bad, I just want to say thanks. Really do appreciate it. So, next thing, let's do coding challenges as a celebration. Last time what I did was I did 8 kaijus, and you'll see like Code Wars has like these training katas, like almost like karate. So I did 2 8 kaijus, which are the easiest, then 2 7 kaijus, which are a little bit more difficult, and then 1 6. And the 6 took me about like 2 hours. So I'm gonna try 1 8, 1 7, 1 6, and if I get stuck on the 6, I'll go on with it until I like really have surpassed like at least 45 minutes or something, because I was in the previous try of this video, I was like banging my head against the table trying to do this, get the solution, and it really made me feel stupid. But another thing is like I don't have a um, university degree in computer science or whatever. Like I'm actually just I'm studying finance or accounting, and you can actually check that out on my finance blog if you want to learn about business or finance or stuff like that. How to set up your new business, basic accounting process, whatever. You can check that out. Um, I do try and help people with financial stuff as well. But the what was I even saying, dude? Like ADD for days. Something about coding code. Oh yeah, I didn't go to university for computer science, so like my solutions to these coding katas or challenges are probably not the most efficient. Like I think I could, I think I could improve on performance. But one thing I do have is the will to keep going, and I think it's very important in programming. Like even if you don't have like the academic background in coding, like you can solve a problem, and it might not be the most elegant solution yet, but as you solve problems, you get better at knowing what is better and what is worse, like how to handle loops, how to do a little bit more efficient stuff, which I'm probably the worst at. My stuff is never efficient. I suck at regular expressions. I struggle, as a programmer. But I think we should all be honest with ourselves when programming and not think that we all engineers, because I know people that study computer science and did programming in college, which are like worse than me, and then I know people who taught themselves, which are like really high paid programmers, and I'm like not even on that spectrum. I'm just coding for fun. But yeah, I think that's the main point. So let's just go to Code Wars, and this is where you can do like I'm gonna do JavaScript today because it's my best language. Uh, it's just so nice and easy to get started with JavaScript and write, JavaScript applications and the web and all those fun things. I actually just want to log in. I'm gonna hide my screen for a little bit. Just gonna take it over here, just in case like I need to auth something. I first need to minimize this. Put this here. Boom, boom, boom. And it seems like I don't need to auth anything, so it's fine. Let it load. Cool. Full screen. Nice. So these are my, look at this guy. Where's this? Look at this guy. 13,322 honor points. That is insane, Julian. W3 CJ from Coding Garden, top guy. Been following him for so long. Awesome programmer. Really dig the guy. Cool. Let us do, and as you can see, like I'm at a measly 175. Like I'm not even probably on this chart. I'm like around 42nd. Yeah, nice. Doesn't matter. I don't do this often. It's not my priority. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with 1.8 Caillou. I'll show you over here once this loads. Am I still recording? I believe so. Okay, so 8 Caillou over here. And then I'm just going to select a random one. What I did last time was I just scrolled and looked away, and then, kind of just stopped. And then, whoa, that was grasshopper terminal game move function. Sounds good. And then I just did it. What are we? Are we on JavaScript? Yes. In this game, the hero moves from left to right. The player rolls the dice and moves the number of spaces indicated by the dice 2 times. Create a function for the terminal game that takes the current position of the hero and the roll 1 to 6 and return the new position. Move 3, 6 should equal. So 3, what? In this game, the hero moves from left to right. The player rolls the dice and moves the number of spaces indicated by the dice 2 times. Okay, so why create a function? So why is it moving 15? Oh, so it starts at 0. Okay, then it moves 3 spaces, and then it moves 6 spaces, and then it equals for what? See, like, sometimes I really think, like, why am I even doing this? Because I don't even understand what I'm supposed to do, but let's get it. In this game, the hero moves from left to right. The player rolls the dice. Okay, so I'm the player, the hero is the whatever thing on the screen. I roll the dice and move the number of spaces indicated by the dice 2 times. Create a function for the terminal game that takes the current position of the hero, and the roll, and return the new position. Okay, so I get it. So we start at position 3. We roll a 6. So we have to go 3 plus 2 times 6, right? 6 times 2 is 12 plus 3. Yeah, it's pretty. So we're just going to do a quick little thing. So 8 Caillou is pretty easy, I'm thinking. Position. So we'll just say position plus 2 times roll, right? And then we can test. Yeah, okay, cool. Well, we'll attempt first. Maybe there's like tricky things. Okay, cool. We passed everything. Quite easy. You could see, like, even if you're like a beginner, you can make sense of these things. Syntax doesn't really matter. I need water. My mouth is drying out. I'll get that just now. But syntax doesn't really matter that much. It's just you really want to think about the problem. I think my screen might be too small, right? The letters might be too small. Let's do this. How does that look? I think that's fine. Okay, cool. But now you can't really see the submit button. Okay, I'll just do that. Nice, we did one. We got some points. Yeah, so like I said this in the last video as well. Like, I don't understand why people need to change things to look smarter. Like there's gonna look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Why? Like, why would you do that? Like and people think this is clever. This isn't clever. This is ridiculous. It's literally a sum where you plus something and multiply by 2. Now, imagine being like a really new developer and you look at this and it's like, whoa, what does this guy know that I don't? Like, this is so insane. I don't understand what's going on here. But it's not necessary, man. It really isn't. Just be cool about it. Just be normal. Be great. Okay, let's do a 7. It's going good today, right? I think it's going good. I think we are actually not doing that bad. Might have might take my words back any moment now, but let's try it. Okay, string ends. Oh, we have to do like a random thing. I'm gonna look over there at the light. There. Longest vowel chain. Okay, string stuff. Probably regex. Don't like it. Let's try it. The vowel substring in the word Code Warriors are O, E, A, I, O. So if they are next to each other, then there's no comma. Okay, the longest of these has a length of 2. Oh, okay. Okay, so so basically what we have to do is we have to check the list. I like thinking the programs through before looking at the code. So what we have to do is we have to iterate or just loop or move along the string, the word, and find vowels. So we need like a dictionary, like something to store the vowels to know what is a vowel in terms of the program. It's going to be like our own little object data type thing. Like a vowel is either A, E, O, I, O, U, whatever those things. And then we have to go through, traverse the string, or what do you call it, like loop or iterate or blah, blah, blah. And then compare each letter to the thing. And if it's a vowel, then we add one to the current. No, actually, what we can do is we can create an object with the vowels as the keys, and then the values start at 0. And then, no, 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 no. What we can do is create an empty object. Look at this. And then, do we, like, if it's repeated, do we have to push it back in? Okay, I think it doesn't, like, if it's repeated, it's fine. We can just, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to set an object, and then once we reach a vowel, we put that as a key, and we put its length there. Reach a vowel, put a key, put its length there, and then we can return the key with the longest length, right? Does that make sense? We could even make an empty array and then just filter that array. I think I like that more. We make an array, and I hope there's more than, there's only one longest, because otherwise the array will have like a length of 2. But I think they won't make like the same length type of stuff. So probably I'm going to make an array, push in every single vowel, and if it's like, first compare it. So if it's A, and then if it's the next one, we have to look at the next one as well to make sure like it's in a row, and then push that whole thing in. Once it's not, the next one is not a vowel, we can just push it in. So we have to sort of have a forward-looking thing as well. Okay, okay, okay. I'm probably making this way more difficult than it should be. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Or what we can do is we can just have like a record number, and then loop the string, and then make sure, like, do still the next checking thing. If the next one is not a vowel, then stop, and then if that's longer than the longest number, then we can make that the new longest number. Okay, so I'm gonna say let longest equals 0, because at the moment we don't have a record. So what we do is we are going to create. Let's first create those keys. Whoops. How do we do this? Is it an array? Is it a object? But what would yeah, I think it's an array. Let vowels equal A, E, I, O, U, right? Isn't W, I mean, wow. Isn't Y supposed to be a vowel as well? I think Y, I don't know if, maybe not, I don't know. Okay, so now let's loop the word code warriors. Let's just like these are the test cases at the bottom. So let's just use like code warriors and think about that one and just forget about the others for now. So code warriors, let's do we can do this. Uh, code warriors. I mean, what am I doing? S dot split. So we split everything. The whole thing just becomes an array. S dot split, and then we can do dot for each because now it's an array, and now we have a letter. Okay, so now we have to check, is this letter a vowel? We actually need an index 2, right? Whoops. We actually need this index 2 because we want to look at the next index. Okay, right? So the letter at the index, if letter and letter at I plus 1, so the next index, we should probably loop the vowels as well. But then it's two loops within each other. See, this is the performance thing. Like what is, I don't know, what is faster, creating an object with keys and then, you know, looking at those keys. So if this property if this key exists on the object, then, you know, like, or can we do if vowels dot contains? I think there's a contains or includes. I think it's contains. So what we have to do actually is wrap this in that thing. So we have to say we can do this. We can say, let's create no, I'm not going to create another function. Let's just do this. We say if vowels dot contains, right? I think that's an array method. Contains the letter and vowels dot contains index plus 1. I think I want to make this more explicit and just call this next letter. Okay. So now we can use the next letter. No, we can't do that because this doesn't make sense. Let's just do index, because that's not the next letter, it's the current letter as well. So index plus 1, right? Oh, but we have to do s at index plus 1. Sorry, I just went quiet. It's very difficult. That's also what I realized last time. It's very difficult to code and talk at the same time. So it contains s at index plus 1. Then what we have to do is, so now that means the first one and the second. So now we have to check the third one and then the fourth one and then actually what we want to do is we want to check if the first one is, then plus 1. So yeah, so longest needs to increment if each one is. So if blah 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 is plus 1, if not, then set it to 0 and just repeat. And then we'll just get the longest, right? Nice. Okay, so if vowels dot contains, I think it's contains, is it string or is it includes? I don't know. Let's try contains. If vowel dot contains letter, then we have to increment longest plus plus, right? Else, now we have to, oh, but that's going to break because if we keep looping, so if let's say it's now the first one is, the second one is, the third one is, then it's 3. But if all the rest aren't vowels, that means the longest was 3. So we have to have a second thing, and then keep checking if the current is bigger than, right? So how do we do that? We have to create a second variable saying current. So the current record and then the all-time best. So if the current record is bigger than the all-time best, then we have to set all-time best to current. And if not, then it's just like that. So let's just do record. And then, why do I keep doing that? And then let current most equals 0 as well. So what we have to do is, we have to do this. We have to say, currently we're on the first one. So if on the first one we plus plus, that means, yeah, we can do current most plus plus, which increments it. That means current most is at 1. And then after we do that, first we have to say else and say current most equals 0. So if it isn't in there, we have to reset that current most. And then at the end, what we want to do is we want to check if the current most, so let's say we had the first one. If the current most is bigger than the record has to be the current most. So let's go to the second one. It's 1. It's not bigger than, so it doesn't have to reset. And then let's go to like the third one. So let's say there's 3. That means like the current most is 3 and it breaks, and then it yeah, and then it sets it. Let's try that. If current most is more than the record, then we have to say record equals current most. Right? Does that make sense? So let's think about it. We have an array, and then we have to return something. So then at the end of this entire loop, we have to say return record. Okay, so let's look at code warriors in our mind as example. We split it into an array, we loop over it. So C, so current most is 0, which means current most equals 0, and then if current most more than record, which it isn't, it's fine, then record will be returned as 0. So O, and then we check O. If O, if it's in there, so that means current most increments, which means we check now if current most is more than record, which it is. We have to set record to current most. Then it's D. Now we check D, we loop, we say no, it doesn't contain it, which means current most sets to 0. We check if current most is more. No, it's not. It's fine. Record stays as it is. I think this will work. And it didn't work. Vowels.contains is not a function. .includes. Nice. Cool. Yeah, I think that made sense. I think it's efficient. I know includes loops, so it's a loop within a loop, right? So that's like big. It gets big by the time the string is like huge. But vowels stay the same. Like vowels is just a specific length. So the loop isn't that expensive. But is there a way to not loop twice? We could say that we can do a regex. We could make like A, E, I, O, U thing globally. And then do like and then say if it matches. Now, you know what? I think this makes sense. and it might be inefficient, but it makes very much sense to me. Like it's readable, makes sense. Attempt. Probably not very efficient, but so 2,500. Oh, but that's so. Let's see how long it took like for these tests. 1585 milliseconds. That's a lot. It's 1.5 seconds. Oh, wait. Yeah. Okay, submit. I'm good. It works. I did it. Let's look at this. Oh yeah. Current max. See, it's kind of what I did. Looping over it. It just didn't have the array. Ooh. String dot includes. Does string dot includes like loop like an array? I don't know. Okay, current plus plus. If current's more than max, then max equals current, else current equals 0. This is exactly what I did. In a way. Look at this guy. Math.max is like spreading out this match and then mapping it. What is going on? So he's making an array. So first of all, he's s.matching, spreading out these matches globally. That's kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to use this regex, but I don't know how I wanted to use it. But this is what I wanted to do, and it seems nice. So this will return an array of matches, right? Wow, this is kind of cool. I like this. It's not very readable though, but it kind of is cool. So what this is doing is, first of all, s.match is a thing on its own. It's checking if the string has any of these in any order, like not in any order, but this plus means like it could either be this chunk, or it could be that chunk, or it could be, in any place of the string. That's what the global does. So that gives you an array of all the matches. Then he spreads out that array. So math.max is a function, a method that takes in different numbers and it gives you the maximum. So he's putting in a array of numbers because he's mapping over this spreaded thing. So he's mapping over that, and for each, he's, instead of giving the match, he's giving the length of that match. So he's maximizing those things. I like this. I'll say that's clever. This is kind of the same, but it's ugly. This is like mine. I could imagine. Okay, enough talking about other people's stuff. Let's do a 6. This might take long. Um, this one was fun actually. I did do this one already, but I feel like I want to do it again because I can't really remember that well, and it was kind of cool. It took me 2 hours to complete though, but maybe now because I did it already, like I can do it a bit more. I'm gonna do it because I think it's exciting to watch as well because we draw stuff. Yeah, I remember this. So this thing is like a table that you have to draw, and this is the columns and this is the rows downwards, and then you have to sort of it gives you a word as well, and then you have to write those letters in each of the squares until, and if there's not a thing, then you have to leave an open space. I'm actually scared to try this because I did do this, but it took me forever. Okay, so what I'm thinking is, it says 4 rows. I mean, it says rows is 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. But instead of 4, we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because each of these we need to draw separately. And then for each column, we have to draw. We have to only draw the thing in the row as much times as the column is, except for the last one. It's going to be different. So this column, it's going to look like this. If it's, looks like that, and then here in the last one, it's just going to be a plus. It's not going to have the 3 lines. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this is going to have this and this and this and this, and then the last one is going to be this. So what we want to do is, this is going to be like a placeholder for each letter. So let's try. What I'm going to do is just loop twice, rows, columns. 4. Ooh, I can't remember what I did yet. Okay, let I equals 1. Let's start from 1, because then we can do up until the length of the rows. So let I equals 1, and then while I is less than or equal to columns, right? No, rows, then we have to do I plus plus. So it's going to be 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4. Yeah, it just has to be less than. I don't think it has to be equal. Okay, and then for let j, remember we can't use the same variable name, equals 1. J is less than columns, and then I plus plus. So this should actually be, instead of rows, this should be rows times 2, because we're doing 8, right? And we have to do uh, uh, smaller than or equal to, because we have to do 9. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then it's equal to, so it's going to plus one more time, then it's 9. Same here, it's going to be 1, and then 2, 3, 4, and then it's going to stop, I think. Okay. Yeah, because we have to do 5, because it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's close this thing down. So what do we want to do now? Let's just first think about the conditions. So these occur on every every first index, or every every first index, third, fourth. So while I is 1, 3, 4. So that means if it's divisible by 2, it's going to look like this. If its remainder is 0 when it's divisible by 2, then it's going to look like this. If its remainder is not 0, if it's divisible by 2, then it's going to look like that. So let's just first draw those lines. Let's say if I, so I is the rows. That's what we want. We want the rows. So if I modulus 2 is equal to 0, that means it's a, let's say not equals. Let's start with the top one first, just to make it make sense. So if I modulus 2 is not equal to 0, which means it's either 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9, then that means we have to start drawing. So we need a string to draw to. So let's just say let answer equals empty string at first. So what we want to do now is append these weird plus minus things, but only if it's not the last one. If it's the last one, that means we have to only append a plus and a new line, because it has to break right after this plus. Okay, so let's check the last condition first. So if that means that the columns would be if j is equal to columns, right? If j is equal to columns plus 1, because columns is 4, we want to do at the fifth one. So if j is equal to columns plus 1, so that means we are at the last one. We have to say answer plus equals this just plus and new line, right? And then else answer will plus equals the normal pattern. So this thing plus and then 1, 2, 3. Right? So that should draw those lines. Let's console.log that. We have to console.log answer and then return answer. Samples. Something's happening. Either something's happening or nothing's happening. And I'm going on number 2. I think I broke it. Yep, timed out. Whoopsie. Oh, the server. So I'm not writing efficient code. So what's happening? Oh, we have to do an else. No, we don't. We don't need an else condition. What have I broken? So it loops rows, it loops columns. If the rows are, not. Yeah, modulus 2. That means it's the. Yeah. So what's wrong? Did I? Do we need an else condition? But it's just supposed to like leave, right? Okay. 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 So if modulus 2, and then we have to check this again, if j is equal to columns plus 1. Is j ever equals to columns plus 1? Because j equals 1, and then it goes to 2, then it goes to 3, then it goes to 4, which is columns in the first one. So will j ever go to 5? Let's say columns instead of columns plus 1. I don't know. I don't know if I'm doing something. Obviously, I'm doing something wrong. It took 12 seconds to execute. It's like, right? It's not how it works. Am I returning in the right place? Yes. So this is the function. First for loop, second for loop, if else statement, if. Oh, wait, no, this isn't right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, open brackets, 5. No, so open, close, open, close, open, close, and then open, close, right? So let's just try something else. Let's do. Wait. This seems right, dude. This seems perfectly okay. I don't know. What am I missing? So if I modulus 2 is not equal to 0, I modulus 2. So I would be the rows. And the rows is 8, but we is equal to as well. So it'll just do 8, and then it'll do columns, which is 4. So it's going to go first row, column, column, column. Yeah, if it's like the modulus 2 thing is not 0. And then else. Let's just check like an else statement maybe. I don't think this doesn't need to be there, I believe. But something is up. Is my internet working? Of course it's working because I'm sending requests. I'm a programmer, promise. Okay. This is bad, okay? Okay. Let's console.log things. Let's just do this for now. I just want to see what is going on. Answer.push I and j. And then run sample test. Oh no. I did a really bad thing. Oops. You guys probably spotted it, and you're probably screaming at me right now, like punching your computer and shit. I'm looping over J here, man, and I'm doing I++. That ain't gonna work. Okay, so what was this? This was if. Wait, I don't feel like typing that. Let's just do this. There we go. So this is supposed to be J, and then this is supposed to draw our little. And we don't need this else yet. I don't believe so. Run sample test. This should give us like that, those lines, yes. But where's the break? Where's the break? There's supposed to be a break after some certain. Yeah, there's no break. There's no line break. Why is there no line break? Oh, that's why. Because the else statement is in the wrong place. It's supposed to be like in the big one. The top if. And indentation. I should probably like just put this in my code editor and try it there. Okay, so now if I modulus 2. No, that is correct, right? And my goodness. I think what is up. See, this is the kind of programming I do. I just write stuff and think like I'm doing something good. Okay, so this goes away. This It shouldn't be +1 because I don't think there's ever a j +1 because we only loop until j, dude. Run sample test. Okay, so now we got the line break. See, we got the top things, those things. So now we have to do the else condition, like if it's not divisible by 2, which means we have this thing, which means we have this, we're in here now. So now we start adding letters. So now we have to think about the index of the string as well. You know, it's like where are we in the string and how do we add those things to the things. So let's just first draw the squares with like placeholder letters. So again, it'll kind of be the same thing. The string would be this thing that we append unless it's the last. So we can just do that same thing again and say if j is not, yeah, if j is equals to columns again, so the end, then columns, and then what we have to do is just say like the answer plus equals this thing, this upright thing, just like that. Oh, and a new line, obviously, to break, /n. Okay, and then what we need to do is else. Ugh, there's a lot of if else's. This is what artificial intelligence is basically. It's just a lot of if statements, you know. So else, if hungry, eat. If sleepy, sleep. If, I'm not gonna say that. So else we want to append the answer with the string at that index, but we don't know that index yet, so we're just gonna do this for now. Just have like a placeholder. Control C, Control V. Do we put semicolons in this team? I think we do. Okay. Okay. I think that should do like a placeholder thing. Run sample test. Okay. So we have the H and we don't have the last row. So we're missing a row. So that means we have to do rows times 2. Plus 1. So we can actually start rows at 0, right? Oh no, but then the modulus thing is not going to work. Wait. We have to do I, and then we need another row. Less than or equal to plus 1. Yeah, so that does that. What we need to do now is place those letters. So how do we work this out? We have to say, so we look at the string. We have to keep an index of the string and then increment that index whenever we are at a place that we have to put that in. So the string in this case would be hello world. So we need an index. Let's say let index equals 0. And this is the index of the string. Let's just do str index equals 0. So we start at 0. What we have to do is we have to append string. Let's do like string interpolation. We have to append string at that index, right? str at str index, right? Yeah, so the first one would be appended, it would be the h. Now we've drawn this thing and we only need to draw them when we're in this condition, so this line, which means only draw them when we're in this else statement, when we aren't on these pluses and minuses things. So we have to increment the index only in this condition. So we start at 0 plus equals, which means we are in this line. So the next one we have to say string index plus plus, right? But what if there's more squares than string length? That means that index doesn't exist. So we have to check for that. So and string add string index. Yeah, so if that exists, then append that. No. No, we shouldn't only We shouldn't only append that. We should, if j is equal to columns. No, that's not what we should do. So we have to do, I'm just going to do like a conditional thing in here, like dash that, like this thing, or just a space. Is it one space? Yeah, I think so, because we already have this space and this space. So it's either going to be an empty space or string at index. And then we plus plus, which means now we are at E. We write E. And I think we've done it. I think we've done it. It's done. Maybe not. This isn't right. H-E-L. Why is there only 3? Oh no. This has to be columns plus 1. Oh no. Oh no. This is bad. What have I done? Okay, wait. Think about this. This is like an off by 1 error type thing. Oh, we're hitting 1 hour now, so I'm gonna get this done. Okay, so we're missing a letter. Is it string at index? 0? Oh. But we need 1, 2, 3, 4. And we only have 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. So that means there's something wrong with our columns. We need 4 columns. We started 1. Okay, we need 4 columns. So columns plus 1 was right. I think I had to do that, but then something else breaks. So we have okay. Okay, then if I, which means that's the correct row, if j equals, oh, I think I'm just gonna do this, 0, 0, then we can remove that, and then we can leave that there, and then run sample test, see what's up. Okay, it's looking better. It's missing an O, and it also doesn't have the right format. So instead of, if I modulus 2 is not equal to 0, we have to say I modulus 2 is equal to 0, and try that, because now we're working from the 0th index. Ooh, look, there's no O. Hell, O, world. Where's the O of the hello and the L? I have to probably, oh, I should only increment this if I put in a letter, if it's not at the end. Otherwise we just lose out on that string thing, right? Isn't that it? Nice. That looks perfect. What's wrong? So that's the string. It looks exactly the same. What is going on? Oh, there's a there's a new line. Oh, so in the answer there's no new line at the very, very last one. So we have to say if j is equal to columns, and if, so if we at the very last one, which means and I is not equal to the last one, which would be rows times 2. Right? That's not right. So and I is not equal to rows times 2. If I is not equal to rows times 2 plus 1. If I is not equal to, so j is at the end and I is at the end, so we're at the very last thing. So if we at, oh, it has to be equals to, it doesn't have to be not equals to. Whoops. No, it does have to be not equals to. And I, so we only append a new line if we're not at the last one. But that index seems wrong, so rows times 2 plus 1. Nope. What is i's index in this situation? Oh no. Okay, I shouldn't do it here. I should do it in the when we do draw this when we draw this thing, right? Yeah. This should be the same. If j is equal to columns, so we're at the end of the columns, and because it's modular, so it's not gonna be in this condition because that's the if statement. So we have to say if j equals columns, and here we have to do and I is not equal to whoops as not equal to rows. That should do it. Then we but now w- we are we won't append that plus. There's gonna be a plus missing at the end. Rows times 2. But I think there's going to be a plus missing at the end. There's this thing. Oh yeah. This is what. Okay, so firstly we check j is equal to columns. Then we append that thing. Yeah, we do, and it's not else if um else. Sorry, this looks ugly. Let me just fix that. So else if the I is equal to the rows, we have to append this answer plus equals just the plus. No, because that means we're at the end. No new line. And then else we just append that thing, which means we aren't even at the end. I mean, we're not even. Yeah. Let's try. Okay. Something. Wow. Okay. If j is equal to columns and I is not equal to rows times 2, answer equals plus n. So that went right for that and that. Oh, times 2. Okay. Close enough. Times 2 plus 1. No, shouldn't be right. It's just my if statements. Like I can feel it. The j. I'm doing this in the wrong order. If j is equal to the columns, and we're not at the end, we have to append that thing. Else if j is not equal to the columns, yeah, if j is not equal to columns, we have to switch this around. We have to add this. Else we just add a plus. Oh yeah, boom. We can remove this console.log. Oh yeah, party time. Boom. Ow, that hurt. Oh, I already did a sample. It's a very long code. Let's see. Nice. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. We have drawn things on the screen. Boom. Let's see. I think I took a long approach. Okay, this guy got some skills. I don't have skills like this. Oh, but he's bringing in low dash. Nice. Wow. Okay, okay. Kind of the same. Kind of the same. Nice. Okay. Thank you so much for watching this video. And also thank you for subscribing. You guys are really awesome. I'm sorry that I took so long to make this video, but there's been a lot of complications, a lot of stuff with university, a lot of blah. Doesn't matter, we made it. The video is going up. It is on its way up right now. And I appreciate you guys watching this. Consider giving us a share or a like or subscribe or whatever you guys like doing. And enjoy your code. Kaizenicals. Is that a thing? I don't think we're going to make that a thing. But thanks so much. Next time. Peace.